Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
No, whatever it is.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast, episode 73. I'm here with local Canberra comedian Will Devine. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on, Marky. Great to be here in your wonderful studio. It's cool.
That's it. Yeah, nestled away in the northern suburbs. I'm getting a rep for being the Belco comedian. I was on stage the other night and they brought me up as like, all the way from Northside.
Yeah.
It's like...
Wait, which mic was this? Because I feel like all of them are North Side, hey?
Yeah, so this one was at Durham, so it's in Kingston.
Okay.
I think it's because a few of the shows I've been on, they kind of promoted it. Like, I remember I was on Fundamentals one month, and Jeff said that I was, like, the king of Belconnen. So, like, it's just carried on.
Yeah, true. I don't know why I feel like I've heard that term associated with you before. So, yeah, it's fitting. I like it.
It's become a thing,
Yeah.
I wear a beanie too much now. Like, I feel like I'm stealing a bit of Kai's thunder.
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, I
What's
think
under that beanie?
a lot of hair.
A lot of hair,
Yeah, dude.
I feel you.
Yeah, a lot of hair. But there's a lot of hair outside the beanie as well, you know, it's all beard.
How long have you been growing out that period?
That beard?
Yeah.
It's like, it's
I like it. I'm a
It's not
fan.
even part of me anymore. It's like a different entity.
Yeah. How long has it been?
8 years.
8, yeah.
So it was 8 years on Tuesday.
You remember this?
I have a beard anniversary, dude.
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, it's in
actually
my
funny.
calendar. So I started growing it, I'll show you. It's 2017 is when I started growing it.
Is there a reason? Or?
Oh no, sorry, 2014 is when I started growing it.
Okay.
So the 7th of September 2014 is when I started growing it.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the reason I know the exact date is because literally I was chatting to a chick online. This is before Tinder. This is when you had to be a creepy fuck and just like add a random on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like every app's a dating app if you play it right.
That's it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That's the meme, right? I've seen that meme. I steal all my good jokes from memes. But yeah, it's actually yeah, I think so. What happened was I commented on someone's status, like with a funny comment. This is before I even did comedy, so 2014. I started comedy in 2017.
Okay.
5 years in November. When I started. There you go, 5th of November. I remember that date.
Sure,
too.
yeah.
So I commented on it with a funny status, and this chick like replied saying like, that made me like spit out my tea or some shit. And then she added me, and I was chatting to her like offline, and then eventually it was just like, oh, so like, you know, are you in Canberra? And she's like, yeah. And I was just like, oh, I'll catch you around, you know. So we're going to a gig together at one point. Like we were both interested in this gig.
Oh, right.
And I was like,
as in music?
Like music.
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, so are you going to rock up to that thing? She was just like, yeah, I'll be there. And I was just like, yeah, cool. And I had a beard like maybe like your length at the time. Like I just used to keep it trimmed and tidy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do you like beards? And she goes, no, I don't.
Yeah.
So like a dumb fuck, dude, I shaved it like down to just to nothing. Like
Really?
so I rocked up just looking like a fucking...
Like a baby face.
Like a fresh nutsack,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
And, you know what I mean? Like when you have
yeah.
no beard, like if you've always had no beard,
Yeah.
your face looks like you haven't had a beard, right? But if you had a beard and you shaved it, you look like you had a beard and shaved it, right?
Yeah.
Like you
the stub, like the shadow.
Yeah, like the tan. Like I don't tan. Like I'm assuming you tan well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got that olive complexion or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Got that fuck boy skin. But like, you ever notice someone that had a mustache and shaved it? You're like, even if you didn't see them with a mustache, you can tell they used to have one. Because like they have that Susan Boyle neck.
Yeah.
You know? It's got like no chin. Like it just goes.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean.
The mustache is like this wide.
Yeah.
The lips, like the top lips, like this wide. Yeah.
And so...
It's like when Ned Flanders doesn't have a mustache.
Oh, yeah, it like just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But so she saw you, did she dig the no beard? Or
No,
like...
dude, you know, this comes down to exactly how I've lived my life ever since.
Okay.
If you meet someone that doesn't like what you are, then that person doesn't like you. Why
Yeah.
change?
That's true.
Like,
No,
and
that's
I was
good.
glad that I learned. I was 21 at the time, born in 93.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was glad that I learned that early on, because like I know dudes in their fucking 40s that are still simping,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like, don't do stuff because someone wanted you to.
It's a horrible way to kind of live your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good, and that shows your inner confidence, I guess. So,
Yeah, so I just never like shaved,
Yeah.
never shaved after, and then like the next, like then Tinder came. Well, I think it was out after that,
Yeah.
or before around that time, but like I like actually got it.
How'd you go?
Yeah, I did okay, like initially, but the dumb thing is because it was new and Tinder was like new to me.
Yeah.
I dated like the first Tinder chick, like I dated her for like 8 months.
Oh shit. Yeah.
But like the first date I went on from Tinder, I dated that chick for 8
oh
months.
damn. Were you guys compatible? Do you think? Or
No, it wasn't great.
Okay.
Like we had good and bad times,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
eventually the bad times outweighed the good.
Of course. Yeah.
It was probably one of the toughest, like realizations was when I had to go like, and this is another thing I'm glad I learned early on. What the fuck is this relationship advice? Hey, Dr. Phil, welcome back to the Dr. Phil podcast.
No, I love it.
So yeah, fuck it. Dude, if people are here to watch you, that means they're also good-looking people. They don't need dating advice.
Dude.
Well, like,
You know what you, Marky?
Okay,
Your
okay.
Dr. Phil advice. I love it.
yeah, exactly. Well, fucking
And I feel like you're giving me advice here as well.
advice you probably hopefully will never need. But so my I'm actually talking to the viewers now through you by giving you this advice, and they'll just put themselves in your seat.
Sure.
Yeah, but I learned, like, it was a tough realization that I was like, because that chick really liked me, and I wasn't into her by the end of it, and it was a tough moment where I just had to go like, this sucks for both of us, but we need to break up because I'm not compatible with you, and you can't see that because she wanted to be with me so bad that she didn't want to like even entertain the idea of breaking up.
I see.
And I just had to just fucking bite the bullet and just go, this is going to suck, but I can't do this.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you guys go out for ice cream or something? Or where'd you do
dude,
a coffee shop?
I was a dumb fuck. Do you know what I did?
What'd you
dude?
do?
I put dinner in the oven and I did it while it was cooking. So we had to like sit there and eat dinner after I just broke up with it.
What was the meal though?
Fucking lamb chops.
Lamb
dude.
chops?
Yeah, it's like a full roast and
I
shit.
think that's a pretty good post-breakup meal. Yeah.
No, well, the thing is, like, my housemate, like, hadn't got dinner yet.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, all right, if she storms out on me, I'll give it to him, you know?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
either way. I think he was kind of upset that she stayed.
Oh, man,
You
yeah.
know, he was just like, he could smell it cooking. He's
He's
like, fuck, dude, I want
dude, yeah.
please fucking storm out, you know?
That's funny, man.
But the worst thing was, like, yeah, it was just that, like, I didn't want to upset her because I knew it would. But I think that in hindsight, I never spoke to that person again. But I feel like in hindsight, they may have realised that it was the best thing for both of us. But it just took time to realise that.
I understand, yeah.
But yeah, fucking. And if they're listening right now, they'll give me a 1-star review with no fucking comment, just a 1-star.
Then you'll know who it is.
Actually, fuck it, dude. Like, I got a 1-star, right?
Oh, really?
With no comment on this podcast.
Oh.
No fucking comment, just a 1-star. That's
You
it.
got a hater, yeah.
And it brought my average down to like 4.3 or whatever
Oh,
because I got a
shit.
couple 5s. So I'm starting a thing on this podcast, dude. If you I'm going to tell the viewers this.
Yeah.
Give me a 5-star and whatever you put in the comment, as long as it's 5 stars, I'll read it. You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want. I'll read it on the show as
Yeah.
long as the review's 5 stars.
5 stars, yeah.
You can promote your business through my podcast. If you give it a 5-star and you say like your business name and all this shit,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'll put it
Hey,
out
look,
there.
I think that's just good marketing, Marky.
Making mattresses fucking Fishwick. Go
Yeah.
down there. Check it out. 10% off. Promo code Marky Comedy.
Yeah, oh man. I love
Bloody
that.
good mattresses. That's actually have you heard that place?
Not bloody good mattresses.
There's a Canberra podcast I listen to called The Big Sand. I'll give them a quick shout. Sure. And they original episodes were with this company called Bloody Good Mattresses because his mate like ran that.
Oh, okay.
And after a few episodes, his mate was just like, look, man, like I appreciate you like promoting me on the podcast, but like some of your content isn't really like what we're going for. So,
oh, really?
Like, yeah.
What?
Because like the Big Sand is fucking lit. Like,
yeah, right.
They do like a bunch of like really cool segments. They read news headlines. It's Taylor Coftrey's podcast.
Oh, okay. Sure. Fair enough.
But it's
so were you like, okay, I won't show you out ever
yeah,
again?
you know, he still did. It was like, he told me not to, man, but I just fucking love their shit.
Yeah.
No, they're cool, man. But what's the other? Yeah, so that's like kind of my like thing. Like we have a segment on the show called Breakup Stories. Do you have anything similar to that where you like have like a story, like a?
No, not really. See, the current girl who I'm with at the moment is my first ever actual relationship.
She used to be your PE teacher, but now you finished school. It's okay.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I don't really have anything like that. I don't know, man.
For my dumb listeners, that's not true. It wasn't Will's PE teacher.
Yeah.
Like they're
Not
already
actually
fucking putting a 1 star.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
No, bro, we get the 5 stars up there. Yeah, no,
exactly.
I haven't like.
Be like GTA.
Yeah.
The cops will be after us if we get 5
Dude,
stars.
you know why I love you is because I'm assuming because you stream GTA quite a bit, and I'm assuming like you love GTA.
I love it. Yeah.
I haven't been like
not the newer ones. I only stream 3.
Oh, okay. So I have
3.
seen that, but you do like the newer ones, though.
I do like them,
Yeah.
but they're too big for me to stream because I don't have enough time to stream. I only stream once a week, so I stream once a week on a Sunday afternoon for between 1 and 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So if I do one of the newer ones, the map's just too big for me to like get through it 1 hour a week.
No, I understand that.
So that's why I do GTA 3 because it's a smaller.
Sure.
Yeah. But I do like the newer ones. I just don't play them on the stream.
I understand. In your opinion, what's your favorite GTA?
I have to go San Andreas.
You gotta say, yeah, that's a classic. It's an OG one. It's funny. I couldn't get to sleep last night. So it was like 4 a.m. And I woke up and as I said, couldn't get to sleep. So I went into the lounge room and I just played Grand Theft Auto from 4 a.m.
Which one? Which GTA?
The new one, always number 5.
Yeah.
And I just love the like LA, like Los Santos or whatever it is in there.
You look like you could be in GTA.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd survive in
California.
Well, because I lived in LA for.
I was gonna say you kind of
bit.
have a bit of an LA accent.
Yeah, oh, really? No. So I lived in the US like on 3 separate occasions. So first time I was studying in New York for a little while, and then I worked at Disney World for a year in Orlando, Florida, and then 3 years ago I worked at Nickelodeon and Viacom.
Oh shit!
Over
What
there
did you
for a
do
little
there?
bit. So my background, it's like PR, like public relations and stuff like that.
Awesome.
So it was interesting, and I won't ramble on about it and whatever.
No,
but it
that's
was
what we're here for. This is my yours.
But so Viacom, they own like Comedy Central. So Comedy Central. Do you know much about the Comedy Store in LA?
Yeah, absolutely. I know heaps about it.
Have you watched the documentary on Stan?
Yeah,
it's cool. So I was there while they were filming the documentary.
Really?
Yeah, so I got to go to all the shows for free, like anything that was happening there. I was there pretty much every single night. Made a ton of friends there. I never obviously did any comedy at the Comedy Store, obviously, but like like are you familiar with like Kill Tony? Yeah. So I'd be like at every Kill Tony with my friends. It was awesome. It was such a good experience.
Is that what got you into doing comedy?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was like, oh man, like these guys are so funny. Like, I'd always jotted down notes on my phone about like some potential for jokes and stuff like that.
Premises and shit.
Yeah. And like in LA, like you can go if you want to a mic from 12 p.m. 12 p.m. right through to like 12 a.m. Like you can do a mic, like you can do like if you wanted to like 15 mics in one day. You can do so many if you had that kind of time on your hands. But
I actually heard a story from what's her name? I missed the name, but anyway, there was a LA comedian that was out, and they went over to a taxi and was just like going to ask if they could share.
Oh, okay.
but Dave Chappelle was in the taxi.
Oh, for real?
So, like, they were just on stage, and he's jumped in the taxi. So this comedian goes over and says, "Oh, do you mind if I share a cab with you?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure. We're going to get food if you want to come." So, like,
That's sick.
Like,
Yeah.
they were still a pretty big comedian, but obviously not Dave Chappelle level.
Yeah.
So they go out, they get food after they did their spot, and then they're like, "Oh, so are you guys going to go home?" And Chappelle's like, and this is just a testament to how like in tune with comedy Chappelle is. He's like, "Man, it's only 12 o'clock. Like we've still got like 3 or 4 more spots left. Like if we want."
Yeah.
Like, and it just goes to show, like, you might have just finished a big show, but you can go do fucking drop-ins,
100%.
all night.
Especially if you're a big guy like that, you can just walk into any place and be like, I want to go up for 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so you were saying, like, you got, like, 12 hours you can do comedy.
Yeah, like if you wanted to. I didn't do that, obviously. I was working as well, so I had to kind of fit it all in with that. But, yeah, man, like, if you even just go to hang out at the store, like, you just casually, like, Chris D'Elia and, Theo Von, Brendan Schaub, like, all these big names are just chilling there. And if you're cool and if you're not like, oh, like, you know, Chris, like, you know, I'm a huge fan, like, whatever, like, you can just hang out with them. Like, it's not a huge deal, just as long as you're kind of cool, like, to hang out with. They don't really care at all. But it was, sorry, fantastic.
There's just one random fucking fly in here, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's like a baby one. It's
I
like
know,
so small.
It's come at me a couple of times.
It's
I saw
because, dude, I've got an avocado plant, and ever
is
since
that what it is?
yeah, it's an avocado plant, dude. Ever since I got that fucking thing, the flies like just one every like 24 hours.
Yeah.
It just like, and we just look insane because no one can see the fly or hear it.
Yeah.
but we're just fucking waving our arms
the
around.
baby flies, they're the worst.
They're
I
the
think.
worst,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
the most annoying ones.
They're the evil ones.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
yeah. Because they got
100%.
something. They got the little man syndrome of the fly world.
Yeah, I think so. But because you recently because Canberra's gotten up to a stage where there are obviously more open mics happening and so on and so forth. So you recently did what, like 5 mics in a week or something like that? Is that?
Yeah, so that was like a really good point for me because I've seen Canberra move up and up as far as stage time goes. So you said 12 till 12 in LA is fucking insane. But for me, like being able to like stay in Canberra and build and watch it build around me, the comedy scene, it's gone from, so when I first started 2017, 5th of November, there was 3 open mics a month. There was the Phoenix.
Okay.
It was in the city. Fucking ironically, it's called the Phoenix and it burnt down.
Oh, did it actually?
No shit.
I was gonna say I
it
don't
didn't
think I've
rise
heard
from
of
the
the
ashes though. It's weird.
Yeah, that is
so
weird.
the
So the Phoenix, yeah.
the front.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
it has recently been revamped as a mic, and now, well, it was a mic for a bit, and now it's become more of a showcase spot. But it used to be a monthly open mic.
Yeah.
And Smiths, they're the 3.
Sure.
Once a month. And I did my first ever spot at Smiths. And then they also used to have Civic Pub, which was the ticketed show.
Oh,
which is
okay.
ran by the guys from the Canberra Comedy Festival.
Right.
So that's how they ran that. And over the years, I've watched it grow. And I think, I actually, although we've got a few now, I don't think it's at the height as far as open mics that it's ever been. It's close, but at one point in time, there was like 7 or 8
A month.
Yeah,
okay.
And I think we're sitting around 6 at the moment.
Sure.
Because a couple have dropped off. Like we lost Transit and Polish Club dropped off the radar.
Yeah.
And Transit I think's come back as a ticketed spot,
Oh,
but it's
is
not
it?
a mic anymore.
Oh, okay.
And the same with the front. I don't think it's a mic anymore. I think it's just a ticketed event.
Yeah. Do you get? You've obviously been doing it pretty regularly for 5 years, but do you notice a difference in yourself when you're doing a ticketed event versus just an open mic, or like maybe in your nerves, or?
I don't. All right, so it took me a while to find the difference between nervous and excited. So I don't really get nervous anymore, but I get excited. So like if you're over nervous, you're going to be like not confident and shit. But I'm the opposite. I'll be like overexcited and I'll be like too insane. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah.
So I don't find it's hard. I don't need to calm my nerves. I need to calm my excitement these days. Like I'm to the point where like unless it's like a show I haven't done before, like a room that I haven't worked at or whatever, I still get the butterflies, but it's excitement, not nerves. So when I'm doing a ticketed gig, I just treat it like any other gig.
Sure.
When I'm at an open mic, the material might be newer material or shit that I'm working on or whatever. Whereas ticketed, I try to have it a bit more perfected stuff. But just because it's a ticketed gig doesn't mean that I'm not going to do crowd work if something comes up, you know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people tend to like maybe try and have their shit too perfected for ticketed gigs.
Okay.
And when you score like a ticketed gig, you don't want it to be like completely different from your natural style.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you may as well stick with what you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that.
But I also don't stick with material for too long. Like once I get something pretty good, I'll like move on to something else. But it's only in the last couple of years I've actually been going back through and like really like working on my bits until they're like good. You know what I mean?
It's like that. Have you heard Louis C.K.? He did Mark Maron's podcast. I'm not sure. This was many years ago. But he talks about jokes, and it's like a fruit like ripening effect. So like when you're first starting out with the joke, it's maybe, you know, it needs to be trimmed a little bit. The words might need to be changed a little bit, but you're kind of working on it, so it's just not quite ripe. And then once you've done it, you know, a couple of times and, you know, you've changed it up a little bit, then like that joke, it's sort of like ripe. Yeah. But for some reason I forget, but he also talks about once it's ripe and then you just keep on using the joke, it can kind of overripe and then sort of sour a little bit. So he talks about just having to find that sweet spot and then maybe toss it away when he thinks it's appropriate. It's something like that, but I'm probably butchering it a lot.
No, I get the concept. Like I haven't heard that particular. I don't listen to WTF, which is Maron's podcast.
Yeah.
I think I've heard him on other clips and samples and shit, but I listen to so many different podcasts that it's hard for me to add anything new. Like, because when I really like a podcast, I like to listen to like every episode, no matter if I'm interested in the guest or anything, because there'll be like something in there which I'll enjoy. You know what I mean? But I find when I get it to like the nearly ripe stage, I'll put it away and work on something else. And I've found that like I had way too many jokes that were like nearly good but not quite. So now I find myself 5 years in with like a bunch of jokes that aren't quite ready yet. But there's heaps.
Sure.
It's like if I was playing an RPG and you add stats, like, you know, you got like strength and stamina.
Oh, yeah.
It's nearly like all my stats are like 8 out of 10. Like, and picture my stats are jokes.
Yeah.
And I've just got to go through and just like add like 1 or 2 to each one of them.
I totally understand that. Yeah.
And I'm finally like ready.
Sure.
Like, so I've got a 45-minute set planned for November.
I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, do my plugs for me. That's good. Well, you did used to work in marketing. So you just can't turn it off like that. You know, it's one of those jobs. Like, so it's actually on the 5th of November, which is the exact 5-year anniversary of when I started.
Was that done on purpose, do
Yeah.
you think? Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I looked at the calendar and I'm like, it falls on a Saturday and it's and Smith's is available. Why not do it on the same day in the same place, bang on 5 years later?
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, and do you know what's interesting?
What?
The owner, Nigel, when I first did comedy, he went up and did like a set.
Oh, he did?
He tried it out.
Oh, okay.
And I've asked him if he wants to like open. Like I've got I want to get an actual opener.
Sure.
So it'll be an hour show, me doing 45. I want to get a 10-minute opener and then just I wanted to get the guy that MC'd for me when I first started to open.
Yeah.
His name's Bill Macon, but he lives in Newcastle now. And he doesn't really do comedy anymore.
Yeah.
So I've been holding on to the idea of maybe getting him on, but he was actually in a few shows like a couple years ago. But I think that's all he's done since then, unfortunately.
Did you reach out to him at all?
Yeah, just heard nothing back.
Yeah, fair.
I think it's one of those things where sometimes people just want to leave that life behind. If they start a new career and they move to a new town or whatever.
Sure.
He's a great comedian.
Yeah.
He was the reason that I got into roast battles because he used to run roast.
Oh, he did? Yeah. That's cool. It was funny seeing that because obviously I'm not going to keep on going back to in LA, but you know, I'll mention it. So I used to go to roast battle a lot. And dude, it was the funnest thing and the funniest thing. I really like insult comedy for some reason. I feel like it's
if everyone's on board with it, then it's cool, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So that was the very first kind of ticketed show that I saw, and I absolutely loved it. And when I came back home here, I was like, oh, okay, like Canberra would have nothing like that. But seeing that there is a roast battle that happens sometimes, it's exciting. Well, it's cool.
I branded that one Mortal Comedy Roast because like Mortal Kombat, I made it Mortal Comedy.
Sure, yeah.
Because I didn't want to clash with people that already have the comedy roast battle. Like roast battle name.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't want it to get confused with other people that have roast battle.
Right.
As much as I'd love that to be the name of it, I don't want to like people to get it confused because they do run roast battles, not here in Canberra, but just in other venues around Australia.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't want to like sort of take away from what they're doing.
Okay, sure.
That's why I wanted it to be something different. But I like the theme because what I did, and anyone that's listening to the show that might have been there will remember so I made different backdrops for the screen for each one of the bouts.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I had like graphics and shit like backdrops like that they use for like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I think I saw the photos. Yeah.
So I did stuff like that and like had cartoons and like fight photos and shit.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of that material we can't really use again. So I got some really good recordings from the night. So what I'm going to do is make up a bit of a sample reel and just get a clearance from all the comedians to put it out and just release it as like a sample video.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Because we had some really good laughs in there.
Yeah.
So
it went well? Because I was going to say, because I feel like roast battles, they can either go one way or the other. So there were some of them which might not go quite well at all. And then some of them which are absolutely hilarious.
So it was a roast crowd. They were there.
Oh, they were there.
Right?
That's
like,
good.
So we went out and did a 5-minute set at the start of the night each to try and like give the audience an idea of the style of comedy that each comedian brings to the table.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to win them over because they just wanted to watch the roast battle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we were all backstage like, dude, this fucking crowd, like, they hate this.
Shit. Yeah.
And we were like, I picked it early on. I'm like, nah, they're here for the roast. They're like, we don't care about your fucking comedy. We want to watch people getting fucked up.
Yeah.
So we went, in a minute that the roast battle started.
Yeah.
Fuck, they went off.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They really, like, I wouldn't say it was ape shit.
Yeah.
But there were certain jokes that landed, and it was the more brutal jokes that landed.
That landed the best.
So hard, man.
That's so good, yeah.
Yeah, it was cool too because shout out to Alessandro. He went around and gave all the scorecards. He was like the room runner.
Oh, okay.
So instead of me doing it, because it looks kind of biased.
Sure.
And also I didn't really have the time to do everything. So I got someone else to MC it. I got this guy called Jez to MC it. He was really good, dude. I actually hope some of his clips make it into the sample.
Yeah.
Because he is actually a UFC fight commentator.
Oh.
MMA.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
MMA, not UFC.
And then he does some of the Canberra Brave.
He does all the local Canberra Brave MC stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, so he brought us up fight style, like in the red corner.
That's
like
awesome.
It was full on, dude.
That's
it was
so funny. Yeah.
Everyone was just the theme was perfect. Like the crowd was really into it.
Can I ask, what was your like, how did you go about writing jokes for it? Like, how did you, because who did you verse? Was it Taylor?
I versed Taylor.
Yeah.
And then I ended up versing Kai at the end.
Sure.
But I didn't know who I was versing at the end. I only knew for sure I was versing Taylor.
Right.
Because the second half of the night was determined on who won out of the first round.
Oh, so it was rounds and then, okay,
So
I understand.
I either was going to be versing Jeremy or Kai, depending on who won out of Jeremy or Kai and who won out of me and Taylor. So I had to write jokes for everyone.
Yeah.
Like all four of us.
Yeah.
And then just like hope that I
for the best,
landed it.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, I wrote a few jokes that were interchangeable.
Oh,
so
okay,
whether
yeah.
I got Jeremy or Kai, I was fine. And the good thing is they're both dads.
Okay.
So I could say like dad stuff about either of them.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas Taylor's not a dad.
Yeah.
So, and probably never should be, but I'm just fucking around.
Yeah.
Dude, most people shouldn't be.
Yeah, I
like
think
that's
so.
the truth,
I
right?
think
Like
so, yeah.
so many fucking people fuck their kids up because they want to have kids,
Yeah.
and they don't think about like whether or not they'll be good at it. I actually think he probably will be good at it, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's funnier to say that he'll be shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how I wrote for it
Yeah.
was I literally just went like, I started with the low hanging fruit. So I like wrote, so if it was, what we did is 5 jokes each. Mm-hmm. So we did 5 jokes. One person says something, the other person says a rebuttal, and then their next joke.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just do that 5 each side. What I did is I wrote 15 jokes. I started with the low-hanging fruit, like, what's a characteristic about Kai? All right, he's got shitty tattoos. He wears a beanie. He looks like a junkie. Like, just all that shit.
Yeah.
And I, like, over that already looks like he was a junkie, but, like, he's good now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, he's cool. The best thing about Kai is I knew that whatever I said, he would always know that it was a joke.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? And that I specifically chose people that were good sports.
Sure, yeah.
So I started and I wrote 15 jokes for each person, and then chose 5
Yeah.
out of that 15, the best ones, and that's how I wrote for it. But I started with like appearances,
Yeah.
and then I went like, what would be funny about like, you know, their style of comedy. You know, I just tried to hit every like angle.
Yeah.
So I pretty much wrote like, so out of the 15 jokes, I wrote 5 on appearance, 5 on their style of comedy, and 5 on just interchangeable jokes, like being a parent or like, you know, being like for Taylor, I wrote jokes about being younger. And then I ended up writing a bunch of jokes about him losing a bunch of weight and then gaining a bunch of weight and then losing a bunch of weight. So
Right.
like the fluctuation in weight.
Sure.
Like, so I wrote stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and I just went through and chose my best 5.
That's awesome. And was there any like 1 or 2 jokes that were made about you that kind of resonate with you that
Fuck,
you
man,
loved?
there was a couple great ones.
Yeah.
So Taylor called me a Kmart Viking, which is fucking gold, dude.
That is cool.
I want to put. I hoit that makes it into the clip. And
That's really good.
but I don't want to say what I said about them.
Sure.
Because I don't. If I put it in the clip,
Yeah.
then they might not want that.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
But
Sure.
that was why I don't mind putting that out there. That was
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah.
And I think so. Kai got me with a really good one, which was a rebuttal, not a joke he wrote. So I was saying that Kai, like something about Kai's appearance, and he literally, short and simple, he just goes like, I was talking about how like the like cheap clothes and shit like that, and he goes, yeah, and you still couldn't afford it, and like that's all he said, and it did good, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah.
sometimes it's just about simple. Like,
Yeah.
Kai ended up winning overall.
Yeah, okay.
And
yeah.
I think a lot of that was just because some of my jokes with Kai were like too much of a deep dive.
Okay.
Like I had a couple of like short ones, but some of them were a little bit wordy.
Okay.
So like they were more aimed at like comedians, not standard audience members.
Okay, sure.
So-
So you think the audience might have not fully grasped the joke? Is that what you're saying? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I
like,
understand.
Some of them, like I had one about like something. I had one about like hopefully it makes it into the clip, but just the premise is basically Kai and his relationships with glory holes, and the audience, I think, I think Kai didn't really get it at first. And because Kai didn't get it, they didn't get it.
Right.
Like, because they were kind of, both a little bit fucking fucked up.
Okay, sure.
So it lost a bit of momentum. So, like, I think sometimes short and sweet is, like, the best way to go.
No, that's
But the good thing is the roast battles were quick. Like, a 5-minute set when you're doing an open mic. It's sort of like if you got, like, if you got, like, 8 comedians doing a 5-minute set, before you know it, it's like longer than 5 minutes each because you've got like turnaround and shit.
Yeah.
I allowed 10 minutes for each battle just in case they ran over or whatever.
No. Did they?
And they all were like under 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So like it all went like on time. It all wrapped up by 9 o'clock. Like,
yeah, wow.
It was all good to go.
And that was there's been roast battles prior to this one, wasn't there?
There was a roast battle a few years ago when Bill used to run them.
Okay.
But aside from that, Canberra's not had many roast battles. I did one with Kai a few years ago, just at the Boardwalk. Kai and I did one.
Sure.
It's another venue that doesn't.
I like
do
the
comedy.
Boardwalk. Yeah.
They used to do comedy there. I don't know if you're in the scene then.
I've done one open mic.
Yeah. It's felt like in Goodfellas, it's like have you seen Goodfellas?
I haven't. No.
Okay, there's this scene where one of them, he comes back from jail.
Oh, okay.
And he talks to one of the dudes. He talks to Joe Pesci's character, and he's saying, like, it's a famous scene. So he's like, oh, why don't you go get like, this guy used to shine people's shoes, man. Like, he used to get it fucking so good you could see your face like a mirror.
Yeah.
And Joe Pesci takes like a little bit of offense to that because he's like a mobster now. So like he's like climbed the chain.
Yeah.
He just goes, I don't know if you maybe just being in prison, you might have forgot how things run around here, but I don't shine shoes no more.
Oh, right.
It's I don't know if you've been in the scene for long enough, but you might fucking not know.
Yeah,
You're like,
I understand.
I've dabbled a couple mics.
Yeah, Goodfellas reference. No, I love it. Yeah,
it's a good, man. Comedians love Goodfellas. Like,
oh, really?
I've not met a comedian that has seen it that didn't like it.
Yeah, right.
It's because it's like, if you look at it as a serious mobster movie, you'll probably not fully get it. You'll be like, this is a little bit far-fetched to be serious.
Yeah.
But if you watch it as a comedy,
oh, really? Yeah, okay. Goodfellas.
It's so fucking funny.
I'll give it a go. And
there's
so many
scenes. Yeah, there's so many scenes in there where you're just like, that's actually like
comedy gold.
A bit. Yeah.
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Fair enough.
But yeah, so you were saying early on that you spent time at the Comedy Store, you've seen a few of the comedians. Is there any like standout comedians that you're like, I seen that comedian? Like, you're saying you've seen like drop-ins from a few big ones, but was there any like, fuck, I seen that guy?
Yeah, because I was obviously there quite frequently, so I think maybe like Joe Rogan, I guess, for example.
Oh, like, right.
Someone like Joe, because where I was working at, the human resource lady was like, oh, like, what are you doing for fun here? Like, why don't you get out and do this and do that? And she was like, dude, you should totally go to the Comedy Store and just, go see a show, and it's a good way to make friends, so on and so forth. So, I think maybe like Joe Rogan, or I love Daniel Tosh. So he dropped in one night.
He's so good, man.
He
like,
is
not
good.
just his show, but his comedy is funny as well.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of the time, some people like will have a show and they get famous from the show, but their comedy doesn't back it up.
Yeah, and he's one who's really kind of kept it up. Yeah, it's funny. So I love, whenever I go to the US, I love seeing like the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. I love going to the tapings of it. It's just fascinating to me. I don't know why, but so I went and I booked and got tickets to Tosh.0 right before it ended, and I pulled up in the parking lot, and I went into the wrong parking lot, so it was a staff parking lot. And right through the window, Daniel Tosh is making, I don't know, a sandwich or something. He's just right there in the window. And I'm like, holy shit, like, it's Daniel Tosh, like, making a sandwich or whatever. And I kind of walk up, and the people are like, giving out the tickets and like, telling us what we can, what we can't do, turn off your phone, so on and so forth. And they're like, oh, you came from over there. Where did you park? I was like, oh, there's a car park over there. They're like, oh, no, dude, you can't park there. That's like the staff car park. You got to move it, or it's going to get towed right now. But to just see him as like a regular person, I was like, oh shit, like, it's just, it's funny. Yeah.
It's so
that
funny,
kind of thing.
dude.
But apparently I like, I've never met him obviously, but like, apparently he's like a bit of a like social recluse, or like a bit awkward.
Don't come near me sort of thing.
Yeah, and like he's just because he has this certain persona, like this.
Yeah.
He's like a mean, like kind of roast kind of comic.
Guy, yeah.
But yeah, apparently it's just definitely not like that in real life.
Yeah, right. That would suck if people thought you're like that all the time,
Yeah.
and they came up and just started like people come up to me when I'm working at the bar, and they like expect me to be on. Like they come up and they're just like, "Oh, how you going, mate?" Like, and I'm just like, "What can I get you? Like, what drink? Like, I just want to pour you a drink and fucking that's it."
Yeah,
you know?
I feel you. I like that. I think I like that about you. It's you're not trying to, I guess, kind of keep up with maybe what who you are on stage. You're just like a regular dude. I like just having a regular. Even when I rocked up, it's just like just been doing stuff, cleaning up the house on a Saturday. Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's important to just remain a human being.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my stage stuff is me.
Yeah.
You know, but sometimes when I'm bartending, I'm in work mode.
Yeah.
And the bar might be busy and I just don't have time to like talk shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the night, when it starts to die down, I'm more into like having a chat. And if I see someone that I haven't seen for a while, like a buddy of mine or whatever, I'll finish my shift, hang out, have a drink with them, whatever,
Yeah.
So like during my shift, I kind of like try to keep busy, but after my shift I'm always happy to hang out. And the thing is, I try not to be like accidentally rude to people if they want, because like the thing is, my posters are up everywhere, right? At the bar. It's like Doug Stanhope says, he's like, I'm only famous half an hour before my show,
right,
within 100 meters of where the show's at.
Yeah, okay, that's a good way to put it for him. Yeah,
the rest of the time he can just walk around down the street, you know? But my posters are up all through the venue, so like someone will see the poster and come up and be like, "Oh, hey, you're the comedian," you know. And I like that because a lot of the open mics, because they're free entry, people will come for a gig on like Saturday night and they'll come back on Tuesday for the open mic because they'll be like, "It's free entry, I'll come check it out." And then if they like what they see, then they'll buy tickets to the ticketed shows, you know. So like, or they'll come along and watch me at Smith's when I do my hour or my 45 or whatever.
Because you were saying you were like, I don't know if this was an open mic or not, but after the show at one of your recent gigs, some guy came up to you and he's like, "I want to buy a ticket to your show." Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
it was at Smith's. Luckily I had the poster there with the QR code.
Sure.
I'm like, "Oh, there's the poster," and he
so
fucking bought it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
The funny thing is, the cunt didn't want to check in, but he's happy to scan that QR code.
He's happy to go buy the ticket.
So fuck it, I'll scan that one, just not the one by the door. I should replace the one at the door with my fucking ticket sales.
Yeah, you should. I think that would work.
Cop a fine from ACT government.
I don't think many people would notice.
Dude, probably less people. It's sad when more people are scanning the check-in thing that no one uses anymore than my ticket code.
Oh, bro. No, I don't think so.
I'll be like one of those people handing out the fucking flyers in Civic just to get people to rock up.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you, so because I'm not sure, do you go to many, because obviously there's a few, there's a couple of big names coming to the basement soon. There's like, was it Akmal?
I got Akmal on the 16th.
Sure.
And actually I think this episode will come out on the Monday after Akmal.
Oh, okay.
So like it'll be already done by the time people hear this.
Sure.
But yeah, so Akmal was on the 16th of September. And then we've got Simon Taylor on the 18th. Yeah. And this episode comes out on the 19th, so the day after.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a preemptive we're pre-date now, but it'll be after when this airs. But yeah, some big names coming through.
Yeah, 100%. Is that like, you must be excited for that, I'm sure. Like, is there people like that come through the basement before, or is this a recent kind of thing? Or
so Akmal's performed there before.
Oh, he has. Okay.
But it was an independent thing. It wasn't like something that had a local promoter. It was ran through his company, which is A-List Entertainment.
Sure.
Now, what I did is I contacted A-List Entertainment during the COVID lockdowns just after the 2021 lockdowns and said, things are opening back up. I've got a venue now that, like, in Canberra that we can host a comedian at.
Yeah.
And because of the shit, because you've been there, you know the size of the basement.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was one of the few venues in Canberra that could actually have, like, 100 people.
Yeah.
Because it was big enough that it, like, the restrictions were, like, X amount of people per square meter.
Yeah.
Like, so because of the floor space there, it meant that we could have like 160 people or some shit.
I see. Yeah.
So I reached out to a whole bunch of the big touring companies and said, if you've got comedians that have been not performing for the last 2 years that just want to come and do a gig, I can do 100 seaters, and we can do something, you know, better
That's so
than
good.
nothing.
You're so proactive. That's good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, look, we're not too sure, like, about who we can get, but thanks for reaching out. We'll keep you in mind. And if we have anything that fits that format, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then, like, literally, like, a year later, they're like, would you like to host Arkmel? So I was like, absolutely. And
Yeah,
so
that's
he's
awesome.
doing an Australian tour, and that's the basement's the Canberra date.
Sure.
So that's why I scored that. And because Simon Taylor's with A-List as well, they reached out to me to have him as well.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
that's how it all worked.
Yeah, it's funny, not too many, because obviously, like, if someone like Kevin Hart or something comes to Australia, they never come to Canberra, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know who I saw last night, and I don't know, are you familiar with RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you know Bianca Del Rio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
My missus likes it and I watch it with her.
oh really? Yeah, no, I do the exact same thing, and it's funny because I am somewhat into it now for some reason.
It gets to suck you in, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So she was in Canberra last night. So
Yeah.
they did a show, and it was just pure stand-up comedy, and dude, it was awesome. Like,
Fuck
he
yes.
killed it. He's an insult comic as well,
Yeah.
so a lot of crowd work. But yeah, really, really cool. And I just thought it would just be, lip sync, whatever. But yeah, no, it wasn't like that
Fuck
at
yes.
all. It was awesome.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'd
That's awesome. I
recommend
didn't
that.
even know that was in town.
Oh yeah, no, because I booked it because my girl, she that's like her favorite drag queen.
Yeah.
So when I follow them on Instagram, so
as soon as it came up.
as soon as it came up, I was like, oh shit, I gotta, be a good surprise, I guess.
Yeah. So you were saying we can loop this back to the start. You mentioned that you don't have any breakup stories because you're with the same girl. Is that right?
Yeah. So I've been with her for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, Tinder, met on Tinder.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I don't know. I think because I had always been coming back and forth from the US, I
Yeah.
never really was like, I'll get a girlfriend. I don't know, I was too young. Even now, I make the joke that I was too young when I first met my girl to get it, because it was like I was like 23 when we first started dating.
Cool.
And I feel like you shouldn't date seriously. When you're, in your early 20s.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think, it can kind of limit, yourself in terms of. I don't know, for some people.
No, you're right, man. Like, in my experience, I was in like a 3-year relationship. Straight after that 8-month Tinder relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking was in like a 3-year relationship that was fine, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I kept lying to myself by being like, oh, it works, it's fine,
Yeah.
But then, like, I was then single for like a year.
Yeah.
And that being single for a year, I learned so much about myself.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't until after that I finally, like, met my fiance and
Sure.
like, but I had to be single for a certain amount of time to be like, this is what I
definitely.
want,
It's important.
I was in a relationship after I was single, but I was still on the same path of learning about myself. I just needed that year of being single to, like, find out what I like.
Of course, yeah. It's important, definitely.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the new kind of generation, like the Andrew Tate kind of, philosophy and dating and all that kind of stuff? Are you someone who agrees with that kind of stuff? Or?
Dude, I think each person has their own thing. Like, to give a set of rules that everyone should go by won't work for everyone.
Sure.
So I think that some people, like, meet who they want to be with early on, and that works for them.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that they found the right person early on when they haven't, and they just don't know what they don't like because they haven't tried it.
Yeah, true. I understand. Well, because you had someone here on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. I forget who exactly. My apologies, but you guys were talking about Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah,
and
aligns well. Yeah.
And to me, he was like the original. He was the original Andrew Tate, I guess you could say, because his kind of view on not just women, but just like his whole philosophy was so
everything.
It's really funny, but it's interesting as well, and you can kind of even though some of the things he said were kind of ridiculous, you can kind of see the logic behind it. And I am a huge fan of Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah. So I listened to Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about, like, he's got a few Patrice stories, and he's got this. He was talking about, like, sometimes Patrice would just like drop off the radar. You wouldn't just.
Really?
He just wouldn't. You just wouldn't see him for like a week.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd have like these moments where he just like you just would get a call from him out of the blue. Like, this is when you had like landline phones.
Yeah.
And Bill hadn't heard from him for a fucking week.
Yeah.
And he gets a call, he answers it, and Patrice is just like, Bill, what do white people do?
Okay. Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, must have just been fucking stewing on it for like the whole time. Like, but yeah, it's just
that's classic.
It's so funny to like, and because Bill was talking about that on his podcast, it just reminded me of like, there's so many different personalities in comedy, right? Like, it's just such an interesting mix of people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so many different personality traits. Like, we're talking off the mic, and I wanted to save this for the show. I know a guy that's like diagnosed autistic, like high functioning for certain areas, but some things he's not good at, right? And dude, I realized after I was talking to this kid, I was talking to him about comedy.
Okay.
And this guy's super enthusiastic. He's like one of the best personalities because he's just super kind, really nice, and he'll like listen to whatever you have to say. And I'm telling him about comedy, and I'm just like, I got this gig planned, I got this thing coming up, like I got posters, I plan all this shit. And dude, even this kid was just like, all right, man, I got to get back to work, but like, thanks for talking to me. Like, and I was just like, fuck, dude, I think I'm in the spectrum, because like, I made some dude that's like legit in the spectrum be like, dude, I can't fucking listen to another second of this shit.
And so that was when you
that was the
did
tipping
the self
point.
Evaluation.
No, so that's where I was just like, dude, I think that I've got some shit.
Yeah.
So like, and I want to like get properly, but there was just like a moment where I was just like, fuck, like, I don't know. Like, that's why I'm leaving it up to the experts. I'm going to go, like, speak to someone, work it out. And I think a lot of people our age are, like, discovering that, like, there is things out there that people have that they just live with their whole life and that never gets diagnosed. But you don't need to be medicated for something.
Sure.
As long as you know about it, you can understand how you act in certain situations. Like, I've learnt a lot just from that, like, sometimes someone doesn't want to cop a 10-minute e-beating about comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I understand. So what, like, did you Google, like, symptoms of,
No, I just bought Ritalin illegally, dude. No, I'm good, man. It fixed me. Yeah. So, no, I didn't Google it. I just, like, I did Google it, but I didn't Google, like, online fucking self-diagnosis shit. Like, they do exist. I actually want to do one of them. I've done one, like, of those the online questionnaires, dude.
Yeah.
Against all the fucking things that, like, say ADHD, there may as well be, by the end, just like a picture of me.
Just picture.
Like, it literally.
So it was all like,
it was like,
strong.
Do you have trouble focusing on tasks, dude? Like, fucking.
That's
like,
hilarious.
it was like, do you ever like do, like, there was all these traits.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
do you
yeah.
get off topic? Do you have trouble sleeping? Like, all this shit that I'm just like, Fuck yeah.
What does your fiance? Does she agree? Like, what's her stance?
So my fiance's in the medical industry. She's a nurse. So before anyone thinks it's like I'm being being fucking secretive about
Oh,
it.
right, yeah.
She's in the medical industry.
Yeah,
it's like, what the fuck does she like? That's a pretty big range of shit.
Yeah.
No, so and she was like, I've dated people in the past that have just been like, you're a lot.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, I dated this girl one time, man. It's like 9 o'clock at night. We're laying in bed, and I'm just fucking still talking.
I now I know what you're saying when you're saying this. Okay, yeah. So I continue. My bad.
Like, I'm talking, I'm mid conversation, and I look over, and she's literally doing the Peter Griffin, the fucking, like, she's got a index finger and thumb just like pinching the top bridge of her nose, like closing her eyes, squinting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, you have not stopped all day.
Really?
And that was like, oh fuck! Like, I realized then, I was like, man, I like am sometimes too much for people.
Right. That's interesting.
I do a whole bit about it, and I'm not going to burn it on the show. But,
Sure.
But, like, I don't know if you've heard me do this bit before, but it's basically like, if I'm in the spectrum, I'm far enough in there to, like, get on a tangent and, like, give someone an ear beating about something. But I'm not far enough in there to not realise that, like, they don't want to hear it.
Oh, I can't.
So, like, I can pick up on their social cues. But
it's a good balance.
no, it's the worst.
It's
Like,
not?
it's worst of both worlds. Because, like, I can't stop talking.
Right.
But I can tell they want me to stop.
Right.
So, like,
I think that self-awareness is good, though.
Yeah, but it's... And this is kind of the bit, but it's like if you don't like something, but you were that thing you didn't like.
Yeah.
It'd be like, if you hated old people, but you just were getting older and becoming an old person yourself.
I understand.
So eventually you look in the mirror and you're just like, fuck, I hate what I've become.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, that's so funny. And so your current fiance, she obviously
because she's in the medical industry, she didn't just like most girls in the past, and this is why I like find we connect really well, is instead of saying like you're a lot or getting mad at me because of like my personality, she's like, if this is something that you want to change, then like talk to someone that's a professional and see what you can do to manage it.
Yeah, I see.
So like, she's like, I don't mind either way because she loves me for who I am, right? But if it's inconveniencing me and my time management and my like, ability to sleep and all that shit, she's like, speak to someone that can fix it, or at least show you techniques to like make it easier.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of my style of comedy comes from my fucking insane personality.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like dumb down those feelings. I just want to learn how to manage them better.
I understand. Yeah.
So that's my whole bit about like my thing. Yeah.
See, and maybe this might be a good segue into the review stuff that you want to look at in a little bit. But do you really think you're like kind of insane? Because I think I'm insane, but just in little portions. Like for example, like I'm really like if a business kind of fucks me around a little bit or something like that, I will like make sure I give them a really bad review online but I don't know, like do you think you're insane? Like what are some examples of your insaneness besides the
I have crazy ex-girlfriend vibes when it comes to like when people fuck me over.
Yeah, okay.
So like for example, I'll tell you a situation that I would love everyone to know this story.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to it.
I went to a cafe here in Canberra.
Okay.
That's closed their doors, and I hope it's because of the review I gave.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called the Little Chef Cafe.
Sure.
And they sell like pizzas, but they're like a really cool diner. Like booth seats and shit. I love that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Fucking go in there on a Sunday, order a big breakfast, fucking have a coffee, eat some food.
I love that.
Chill. It's just you and a couple old people. Like, no one's annoying. Like, maybe there's someone with a kid, but, like, they don't get in till later, you know, because people with kids can't get their shit together to leave the house before 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And so they eat half the food and throw the rest on the floor. You know the kids I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I think it was a weekday and I was getting my car serviced. I had the day off work. So I'm like, I'm going to go take my car. Oh, no, it wasn't a service. I was just getting my tyres rotated. So it was just like they're like, come back in an hour and a half. I'm like, fucking perfect. I think I just started comedy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to fucking sit in a cafe and fucking write jokes and eat food for an hour and a half, you know? So I go to this fucking cafe. I order the big breakfast, I order coffee. Now, for those of you playing at home, that's $28, all right?
Yeah.
I hand this... no, it's $23. That's important. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So it's $23. I hand the person, the cashier, a $50. She gives me fucking $7 change.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, there's your change. I'm like, well, there's some of it. What's the rest?
Yeah.
And she goes, no, that's it. You gave me 30 and I gave you 7 change. I'm like, I gave you 50. I'm like, I gave you one note. She's literally just like already not listening.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just ask you, this might be, like, is she a younger person, older person?
Middle-aged.
Okay, sure.
I have reason to believe that her and her husband own it.
Oh, okay.
I'm really fucking putting it out there now. These people know my name. They're like, I'm fucked, you know?
Yeah.
These guys have got mob ties. I'm fucked. So, I'm like, what do you think? I handed you one note, right? And she's like, I can't remember. I'm like, well, let me just give you, like, you might already know this, but I just thought I'd spell it out for you. They don't make a $30 note.
Yeah.
If I handed you one note and it was $23 and you gave me fucking $7 change, unless I handed you a 20 and a 10, you've given me the wrong change. I handed you one note. You've given me... And she's like, no, that's your change.
Oh.
So I have to fucking sit there in a booth seat and wait for my food while I'm just thinking about this situation.
Oh, so you just walked away? You accepted it?
Dude, she started making the coffee. Like, she's literally, like, just walks over to the coffee machine, just ignores me.
Oh, no.
So her hubby comes out, and I'm just like, hey, man, not for nothing. I just need to let you know something, man.
Yeah.
He's the one that cooks the food. He takes it out.
Yeah.
And he's just, I tell him, and he's just like, man, I don't do the tills, man. So I walk
not my problem.
Not my fucking problem.
Yeah.
So I walk up to the end. I'm just like, oi. Do you reckon who was in the wrong there? Like, and she's just like, have a good day.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, fucking.
So what did you do?
What am I going to fucking do? Like, it was, I'll just have a good day because she told me to now. Thanks for telling me. I was actually going to have a shit day, but she told me to have a good day. So what am I going to do?
That would piss me off too.
Dude, I fucking walk out and I write a review.
Yeah.
That just says, like, 1 star.
Yeah.
And I can't fault him on the food, man. The hubby's doing a good job.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Like, he makes those eggs over easy.
Shit.
Like, it's fucking good. Like, I'm just sitting there like, look, I wrote the review. I'm just like, this is not a reflection on the food, but the checkout process shortchanged me like $20 and wasn't willing to rectify the situation or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I got an email like a few years later.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I'm like, oh, it was like the subject was like related to your review kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, fuck, they might have like replied.
Yeah.
And it was literally Google saying, like, your review has helped 233 people out. And
really?
I'm just like, well, fucking that's better than a reply, dude. I know that I helped them.
Definitely. Yeah, wow. So, sorry, I thought...
So I never heard anything back
Never
from
heard
it,
anything
nothing.
back
I never
or
went there
anything.
again.
Oh,
Whenever I drive past, I flip them off, dude. It's like, that's how I get them back.
That's so funny.
Dude, I've done it with people in the car. Like, I've just been like, see this cafe? When we go past, flip them off. I've gone past with like a full car of people. Like, if I did Uber, I would make people do it as well.
Dude, that's hilarious. See, And I'll be very brief with this little story. But if business rips me off, I need vengeance. Like, I don't give a shit about karma. I need vengeance. And so I won't say the name of the business, but it's phone repair shop over in Southside.
Definitely something I should have done, not naming the business.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Fuck.
No, you're right.
They're shut down. They're actually shut
down.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But I gave them my phone to fix a problem. I think the screen just went blank one day. It was on my iPhone, and and so I was like, can you fix the screen? They're like, yeah, sure. So they fix the screen. I get it back. Happy days, whatever. And then I noticed my sound isn't working like at all. Oh, no. But it was working before. So I was like, what the fuck? So bring it back and have this huge argument with the guy.
Do you remember the phone model?
Yeah, it was the iPhone 5C.
5C,
yeah. There's a pink salmon one, actually.
Good,
but and the guy was like, no, I only did this and that. And it's like, I don't know anything about phones. Like, he's trying to explain to me what he did.
I used to repair iPhones.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I used to work at Dick Smith.
Sure. That's interesting. I should know that.
But I didn't repair them as part of Dick Smith. It was a side hustle.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a good skill to have, definitely.
I can tell you for a fact, after the 5...
Yeah.
They were the easiest to repair.
Oh, really?
So the 4S, what they do is they build the phone on top of the screen. So to replace the screen, you just have to pull like the whole back off and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But for the 5, it's just 2 screws in the bottom. You pull the screen up, unclip the ribbon, chuck a new one on.
Simple,
good to
is
go.
it? Oh.
But the problem is the speaker is at the bottom of the phone. You know, how, like it's in the base of it.
Yeah.
And that's next to where the screw holes are.
Yeah, okay.
So it is easy to damage other components when replacing the screen if you're not careful.
I understand. Well, yeah, anyway, I was like, I want a refund for, this thing you've done. And he's like, oh, but if I give you a refund, I've just, done your screen for free. I'm like, no, dude, but, my sound isn't working. There's some kind of trade-off here. So we got into this huge argument, and it ended up being like, okay, I'll give you a refund, but I get your phone. Like, I need to make some money off, the sale somehow. And my stupid ass was like, okay, sure. So he gives me back my $150 or whatever it may be, and he gets my iPhone 5C. And I walked away. I was like, man, I just really got ripped off. Like, fuck that place, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it really...
What'd you do?
It killed me inside for ages. So... And I do this till this day, and I'm a little bit ashamed to admit it. I only actually admitted this to my girlfriend the other day. So sometimes, because I remember the guy's name, I won't say his name, but I will call up this business every once in a while, and I'll be like, "Hi, it's okay."
Is that person
there? Hi, is Matt there? And he'd be like, oh, yeah, you're speaking to Matt. And I'll go, like, fuck you, Matt. Like, fuck you. Fuck your store. Fuck everything. Like, and then the guy's like, who the hell is this? Like, come and say that to my face, blah, blah, blah. And so I do that probably maybe once a month, once every couple of months. And so he has no idea who this person is calling him.
Fuck
and
yes.
Dude, yeah. And because I don't know why, like, I'll be driving and I'll be like, oh, fuck that play. I gotta call him right now, and it's just like sporadic. Yeah, I remember it, and it pisses me off when I do it. And I told my girl this the other day, and she was like, "Dude, like you're a freak. Like, why would you do that? That's just so random."
So good, dude. That's so good.
But yeah, I think I might be a little bit crazy because of that. But yeah,
that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Don't judge me.
All right. What we're going to do, I'm just going to take a quick break. I need to swap out the camera in that, and we'll do the reviews in the second section.
Sure.
Let's take a break now, and we'll kick on with the next part. Be back in a sec.
Easy, man.
Please flip over the tape to side B to hear the rest of this podcast.
Alrighty, welcome back to the episode. Just took a quick break there so we can get into our second section. We're talking about online reviews before. Now, I've got a couple queued up here. But the first one I want to kick off with is I actually wrote this review myself. And I want people to understand, like, the direction I'm taking this in. So, during the lockdowns, I wrote a bit about it. Actually, okay. I'm going to do it, like, the bit in my 45. So, but here's the prelim workup to that bit, like the backstory.
Yeah, okay.
So I won't do the joke, but basically I bought condoms during the lockdowns, and I found in the bottom of the condom box there was a wet wipe.
Oh yeah,
like a freshen up wipe. Is what they call it. So I wrote a review.
Okay.
On the condoms.
Oh, what's the brand?
Skins.
Okay, yeah.
So here, I'll read you the product description.
Sure.
Skin original condoms, 40 pack.
Went for the
It's only
Costco
one
bulk
wet
buy.
wipe.
Only one,
For
okay.
40 condoms.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
what are you going to fucking just...
Reuse.
Yeah. And plus, I use them like one way and then I flip them and use them the other way. So that's like 80.
80 uses.
No, just joking. If you're flipping them inside out, you may as well not wear them at all. The wet wipe. I entitled this review Wet Wipe Bonus.
Okay.
And I used my comedy Gmail account to write the review because I wanted to self-promote. Written 9 months ago. So if I didn't wear a condom, that kid would be getting born now.
Wait, sorry. This is what you've written in the review?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, I didn't. This is just preemptive.
Oh, preemptive.
The actual review says, my favorite part about this box is the wet wipe that it comes with as a bonus item. Have you ever needed to freshen up after burning through 40 condoms? Well, Skin has you covered.
And what is a 5-star review? 4-star?
5 stars.
5-star
review. I really appreciate that. They didn't have to do it, but just for being nice.
Hey, look, at least you get something a little extra in there. I think that's a pretty good review.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
There we go. So that's my review. And I actually wrote a full joke about
Sure.
the proceedings of that.
Sure.
So, 5th of November.
5th of November.
You'll see it. But now I'm trying to do this so the screen doesn't see the
Oh, sure.
That's why I look like someone that's like doing something illegal. You
No,
know, like
you look
do you
good,
remember
man.
school when someone would be like doing some shit?
Oh, yeah.
And they'd be like, fuck off. Like
So discreet, yeah.
yeah.
Get away from me.
Trying
Yeah.
trying to smoke under the classroom and shit.
Yeah.
So, in the vein of reviews, I was looking for a couple of good online reviews that we could read on the show, and I stumbled on a channel which led me to some review gold.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking at different restaurant reviews, places I've been. I was checking out some of the others. I found a 1-star review, so I went back to the channel that the 1-star review was from, and I found this review account on Google called The Truth Seeker Files.
Oh, wow. My God, he's got a full-on, yeah.
It's just a Google account called The Truth Seeker Files.
Okay, yeah.
So I was looking through some of the reviews, and I'm going to have to fucking, move this shit around a little bit. Hang on.
Sure.
But, okay, so 1-star review.
Yeah.
This is at Tinker Tailor in Casey.
Is that a restaurant?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
The service that provided was takeout. Price between $1 and $20 per person, so reasonably priced.
Okay.
Meal type, lunch, 1-star review. Why? What happened? They used to be so good. The sandwiches go up in price and the quality went down. They were $10. Very fair, as the quality was amazing. Generous with fillings. Since the rise to 12, every sandwich I have has been average at best.
Whoa. Okay.
Today was the last one for me. I got Reuben. That's a type of sandwich?
Is it? I'm not sure, to be honest.
I only know club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The standard one.
Yeah.
There was next to no filling, and what was there was all bunched in the middle of the sandwich. There was 10% meat and 90% fat. So he's even doing the ratios.
Yeah,
and everything.
details.
I had to bin it. A $5 sandwich at best. So he even knows the cost of what the materials.
Yeah, I see.
The coffee I didn't rate at all. It's always weak. The desserts and treats are excellent, especially the brownie cookie. So he did actually have a little flair at the end.
I was going to say, that's just I was taken back by the positivity shown in the end of that one, yeah. Okay.
The First thing is, there's also photos. So he's actually taken photos of the inner of the sandwich, which, I mean, fuck, if that wasn't, like, you're never going to take a good photo on a bad review, right?
Yeah. Like, obviously, I can see that for the viewers, that sandwich looks like shit.
That's got, like, 3 pickles. Yeah. They're not even overlapping. They're spaced out.
Yeah.
That's like the sandwich equivalent of a Macca's burger.
It actually is. Yeah, 100%.
You ever had a Macca's burger? There was like one pickle just right in the middle. Like, did they forget to put it on?
Yeah.
You don't eat Macca's.
I do. No, I do. But I'm not a big pickle guy. That's
okay. Yeah. I had a buddy that used to order with pickles and take the pickles off. I'm like, dude, why don't you just say no pickles? He's like, nah, then it won't taste like it had pickles on it. He likes the flavor but not the texture.
Oh, okay.
So he gets it and takes it off. So it still tastes like pickles, but he doesn't have to eat pickles.
Man knows what he likes. That's interesting.
It's fucking, you find some weird shit in the inner suburbs of Macca's.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's go through.
That was a good review, by the way.
Yeah, I'm terrible at reading out loud. So
no, you're fine.
Look, and to be fair, this guy's got a couple of 5-star reviews here as well, you know?
Yeah, okay.
But all of even his 5 stars have like a little, like a backhanded bit in it. So his 1 star had like that bit about the brownies being good, right?
Yeah.
But the 5 stars will just like, you know, say something along the lines of like, you know, there'll be like one thing in there that's like a negative thing, but the review will still be 5.
I understand.
So it's like he's got bipolar. Like one personality liked it and the other one hated it, and they both did a review together.
Yeah, true. That's a good way of putting it, actually. Yeah.
Some of these are replied to, but a lot of them are just like, "Thank you for your review," or like, you know, "Please contact us," and that sort of shit.
I didn't realize the business replied to some of them. That's interesting.
So he's a level 6 local guide. He has 2,116 points. So I don't know if that's like people that have viewed it or whatever, or how many reviews he's given. There's fucking heaps. We're focused on the low reviews because they're the funniest, and this is a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
And relationship advice podcast. All right, let's have a look at this weapon. Oh, so this is all over the place. So something else that I'd like to point out, there's reviews all over the map. Like some of the things I noticed in this was like, this person must travel for work, because in a few of them they mentioned that they like booked a table for one.
Okay.
I'm like, so either they're a lonely person that this is their work, they do reviews, they've made a full-time career out of this.
Yeah.
Or they fucking...
Or they travel for work.
For work.
That's interesting.
All right. This is the Riverview... this is in Riverview Drive. It's the Berry Hotel in South Australia. South Australia.
Yeah.
2-star review 5 months ago. I ate lunch here. It was overpriced and underwhelming. The Thai beef salad was terrible. It looked pretty. It looked pretty.
Yeah.
But the beef was battered and fried. Yuck.
Right. He said yuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battered and fried. So it's like a schnitzel beef. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
It is kind of weird to batter and fry beef.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Not what you want in a Thai beef salad. So he even knows what to expect when it comes to Thai beef salad.
Wow. Okay.
You want fresh and vibrant. The sauce was also kept mains. I don't know what that is.
No. Me neither.
See, he's even got shit I don't know. Like, this guy's reviews are like next level. He's got terminology in there. This could be like insider fucking review speak. Like, only other reviewers can fully appreciate and understand this.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's like professional reviewer fucking.
And they have their own kind of terms and language.
Like, what's that? What's it called? Jargon. They have their own jargon. Like a special. It's a bit like when they... Like you know, if I'm talking IT, people are just like, yeah, dude, that's tech speak. It's way over my head.
Yeah.
This guy, that's what this guy's level.
Excuse me, Marky. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all good. Okay. It's all I could taste. So it was a woolly salad mix So it even knows where they source their produce from.
Yeah.
Fresh chili, none of my favorite. None of the favorites you expect. No Thai herbs. No good at all. The buffalo wings were also terrible. The chips were served this underneath them was soggy and oil, right? So you ever just ordered something, the fucking chips were there, the shit's on top of the chips?
Yeah.
That's no fucking good.
I agree with that.
All right, that one goes on for a bit. Basically, he's just saying the staff were lovely. So he always gives like a good little nod at the end.
Yeah.
Not knowledgeable about the menu. So this is the sort of fucking dude that comes up and asks like the 15-year-old person at the counter deep questions about the meal.
It sounds like that, definitely. But
well, that's 2 so far. But we're gonna. What were you gonna say though?
Oh no, I was gonna say just it's not good for the what's the name of this business in South Australia?
Oh, this is the Berry Hotel.
Oh, bro,
in Berry, South. So it's even named after the town. So they didn't even. I would write a review and say like that. You know, the name wasn't even creative.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the name of the town. But here's what we're gonna close on. So that's 2. Let's do 3. This is the 3rd one.
Sure.
All right, so this guy doesn't just do cafes and shit, restaurants and stuff. This is important. Someone with like a nice range of shit.
Okay.
All right, so this is...
I'm excited.
This is... So somewhere on the way to South Australia, I can't see exactly based on the map. It is... Must be next to a highway. Oh, it's the Gundagai Macca's.
Oh, McDonald's.
Yeah, so he doesn't stop at cafes. Like, no one's safe from the fucking truth seeker.
Right. I reckon he's ordered. This is going to be in regards to a Big Mac. I'm gonna guess it. I'm gonna guess it.
Do you reckon this is a sort of bloke? I don't know why I'm saying bloke. I'm pretty sure I viewed the profile and it had details like male, age, all that, like age range and shit.
Yeah.
I deep dived into it pretty hard.
No,
So
I like it.
something in my mind says that it's a guy just from memory, but I can't remember how I know that.
Okay.
But I feel like this is the sort of person that orders the same thing every time. Like they have a go-to Macca's, like because they travel for work. It's just always going to be that.
Sure.
Thing, right?
And then that expectation is always...
That's how it's a good comparison. They know what to expect. Just passing through on Easter Saturday. Okay. But the coffee was good and the service surprisingly fast and the girl was very polite. So that's all he's got. It's got 4 out of 5. So
this is the good one.
Ended on a bit of a high note there.
Yeah, okay,
so
well, that's good.
I tend to like, I was just thinking like 1 stars might be the best. But I just wanted to see.
We need some variety in there.
I wanted to see what a Macca's review looks like from the Truth Seeker files.
That's so funny. Yeah.
That was just a coffee, right? So all right. The chick was polite. Do you know what I reckon that means?
She was pretty.
I reckon not only she was hot, but she wasn't rude when that person hit on him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's probably it.
It's like if someone can let someone hit on them and not tell them to fuck off, that'll get you 4 stars straight up.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think you're onto something there, 100%.
How many old fucking dudes you just see when you're... And I'm not saying this person is old.
Okay.
But, like, just in general, whenever you go to a cafe or a restaurant or some shit, and there's some fucking geezer...
Hitting on the young girl?
Just fucking hitting on the waitress.
Dude, that is my grandfather. He does that. I watch him do it.
He's probably a pimp, though, you know what I mean?
Like,
he's
pretty,
yeah.
100%. But it's funny to watch.
I'm thinking suits. He likes his suits.
Oh, nah, not really. But he
wears like
the cowboy kind of hat.
Oh,
yeah.
He likes his Tommy Hilfiger and shit. Polo. No, he's a polo guy.
No, I don't even know, man.
If I just say everything, I'll get it eventually.
Yeah, no, but I like watching the uncomfortableness on the girls' faces as well. And because we go to the same gym, he does it at the gym as well.
It's because you share genetics, man. You just sit there, you're like, that's me, you know?
I aspire to be that, yeah.
It's a little glimpse into the future.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, good on him.
So I've seen that shit before, and I have to, like, if it hits a point, I sometimes just have to fucking, like, step in.
Oh, right. If it gets too much.
If it just gets too much.
Tell me about a time where that's happened.
All right. I got to get ready for this. So I'm at a restaurant, right? and there's this old geezer that's already paid, right? It was a Thai restaurant. His wife is fucking standing behind him, just waiting for him to fucking leave because he's just already paid. Why are you still there?
Yeah, exactly.
So at the Thai restaurant, the missus is behind him. She's old as fuck as well, right? And they're both just standing there. He's hitting on this chick, and this chick doesn't like tell him to fuck off, but English isn't her first language.
Okay.
So she's just standing there, like, okay, all right, thank you, and he's just going like, oh, so, I like your He's trying to be like culturally diverse and shit.
Right.
You know, he's trying to do the whole like, oh, I like your garb.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't say dress or anything. He tries to like be
to use the correct
I'm
term.
surprised the cunt didn't call it a kimono or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like kimono or whatever.
By the way, are you sitting nearby? Are you behind?
No, so that's the best part.
Yeah.
I'm fucking waiting to pay behind this
dude.
fucking guy.
Yeah, right. So you're like, hurry up. Yeah.
So this guy, he's like a boomer. Like he's not even like a sugar daddy boomer. He's like a caravanner boomer.
Caravan, yeah.
Yeah. Like, so I'm behind him and I just go, I'm like, hey, excuse me, man. And he's like, what? I'm like, hey, excuse me. And he turns around and I was just like, I'm just waiting to pay, man. Are you all done? And his wife like looks at me and kind of smirks because she's like, fucking, like I've been wanting to tell that cunt that for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's just like, yeah, we're just about done. I mean, like, I'm like, oh no, like you're done paying though, yeah? And he was just like, oh, I'm done paying. And I'm just like, well, there you go, you're all done. And I just like walk up, I'm just like, yeah, table number 6 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And the chick just starts G'ing it up, and he was just awkwardly standing there like he was about to just start his conversation back again.
Yeah, right. I think that's a good way to approach it. Yeah,
so I pay,
Yeah.
you know, and I just look at her. I'm like, have a good night, and fuck off. And then she, after pays, because there's no one else in the line, goes and starts like walks off to start like waiting more tables, and he's just like, all right, then, and walks out.
Yeah,
like
right.
I just fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah,
for him.
yeah. It's good that you did that. I think it needs to happen a lot more.
But she was just too
people.
polite to be like, oh, can you stand aside so more people can pay?
Yeah, it's passive aggressive way
Yeah.
of doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to go.
Sometimes it's better to just try and keep the peace.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, dude. All right, well, we have a fucking treat for the viewers right now.
We do.
So you might remember before we spoke about a certain business that sometimes, you know, things get the better of us and we just have to like play the game. Now, sometimes people do the wrong thing and they just continue to do the wrong thing and never get pulled up on it. Now, we need to be a constant reminder to this business that sometimes you don't just fucking live with doing the wrong thing forever. Early in the episode, Will was chatting about a certain place that that he calls every now and again just to remind that you can't just do the wrong thing and never have any repercussions.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna call them, just let them know, you know, sometimes you can't just like do things and not have any repercussions for it. So let's pull it up.
That's it. So I just want to give this a little bit more premise. So I do this on a regular basis. The phone calls are usually quite short and sharp. It would last probably about 10 seconds or less, and it's just straight in, straight out. So like a fuck you, I hope your business goes under, and then, you know, see you later kind of thing. So I'm going to give him a call, see if the particular guy who I want to speak to answers. And
if he doesn't, we've got to do just pass. Can you pass on a message?
Yeah, I think I'll do that 100%. Okay.
Yeah.
Calling them now. Hi, is this Matt?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Matt. I just want to let you know that you're a fucking asshole, and your business.
You fucking motherfuckers. Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Business is.
Don't talk to me like this. Tell me why.
Your business is the shittest
Who
business.
is this?
You rip me off. Right. You just need to get your priorities straight, okay?
Hang on. What's wrong? Tell me, then let's sort it out, mate. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Fuck yeah. See, that one he actually wanted to talk about it. That was interesting. Usually he's just like
actually starting to get somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. I think last time it was just full on like, you know, cussing at each other, like, you know, back and forth. But that one he wanted to talk it out. So
I appreciate it.
I feel like I'm getting somewhere, definitely. Yeah. I know that's not like that's gonna be the weirdest thing for whoever who's listening, but
that's great, man. All right, so. I you know what? I reckon we should get Matt on the show.
I think we should next. We'll get him on and we'll flesh it out, man. We'll talk it out and maybe there'll be a resolution in the end. It's funny because
How many times is that, do you reckon, like in total?
Oh, dude. It's been happening for about 4 years now. So I would say, dude, it's probably like really realistically just shy of 50 maybe. Like I do it like once a month, once every couple of weeks, and it's funny because I'm always really fired up when I do it. That time I think it's because of this setting I'm on the podcast. It's funny, so it was quite tame. But
dude, that is, do you know what happens? It just goes to show, man, sometimes you can get more bees with honey than vinegar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm glad that we're finally, do you know what, I reckon about another 4 more years and they'll probably be willing to like come to the table with some sort of agreement.
100%. And well, he obviously knows that there are people out there who are just satisfied with his business. So yeah,
sometimes a Google review isn't enough.
It's not. No, I think you got to call them and just talk a bit.
The voice
bit
of
shit.
The customer.
Yeah, dude, I got a notification. I thought I didn't have it on.
On
no caller ID. That would be the worst. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that was fucking hilarious. Let's call it at that, man. It's been awesome having you on the show.
Thanks, buddy.
I think we've unlocked a new segment. We've got the review segments.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any cool reviews that you want to email through, send them through to me. You can see all my details on the socials. Send us through any links to like reviews that people find online and we'll read them out on the show. But speaking of reviews, give me 5 stars. Write whatever the fuck you want in the comment section. I'll read out whatever you write in there. And we'll read it on the fucking show. Thanks heaps, Will, for being on the show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
It's been some fucking fun, man. Thanks everyone that came out to the basement over the weekend because this one comes out on the 19th. We had Akmal on the 16th and Simon Taylor on the 18th. So it's been cool to have that. We got the open mic on the 20th, which will be tomorrow from when this is released.
Sure.
Yeah. So
looking forward to it. Awesome.
Let's get into it. Cheers.
Don't buy me a drink.
Just name names.
Yeah, right. Big Tony. You'll get fucking thrown out of the strip club with your floppy disk.
All day.
Make people feel shame for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn
it.
it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right.
We're here
Keep it simple. Count your money.
that they're not proud of. Just give me $10.
All right.